Hi everyone, today we are doing it. We are going through my makeup collection top to bottom, getting down and dirty. We are talking swatches, we are talking formulas, going through everything. Just briefly saying hello here so you can put a face to a voice just in case you're visiting for the first time here. So I'd go ahead and say that this is my most brutal declutter yet, but I wasn't ruthless just for the sake of being ruthless. I really wanted to keep my collection condensed to a size where I know absolutely every single product. I know I reached for these products. They are my favorites of my favorites. And I am talking to you now 1 week post declutter. And I can tell you that I am so happy with how my makeup is now. And for the past 3 years, I kept my makeup in this black case. And it served me very well. It had many different compartments, but now my collection is a size where it's much more reduced. And I found an organizer that I So what we're going to do post declutter together is we're going to go through the products that I've kept and we're going to organize them and put them away in this new organizer I have, and I'll talk you through my whole thought process about where to put everything. So I really hope you enjoy this. Sit back, get cozy, because this is a long one. I really hope you find this useful, and I'll see you again towards the end of the video for another chit chat. But for now, let's get into it and begin the declutter. Okay, starting with primers, I have the Chanel Le Beige Healthy Glow Cream in Rosy Beige here. And I have completely finished one, and I do have a backup. This is the only makeup product for which I've bought a backup. But as you can see here, this one is completely gone. I just finished it very recently, which is why I still have the packaging. But this one is currently untouched, and I do have a video about this product. Unfortunately, it's limited edition and no longer sold, but it's beautiful. And the other primer I have is this one from Sisley. It is the Blur Expert in the shade 1. I've used this quite a bit, as you can see, and I still really enjoy it. So those are my 2 primers. I really do enjoy both. The Chanel is extremely perfecting, so if I want a really flawless base, I'll reach for this one. And the Sisley is also great just for providing an extra blur, as it's named, for the face. It's also the only powder I use as a finishing powder as well, though I don't powder very often, so I'll be keeping both of these. These here are my 2 foundations. So if you've seen any of my previous videos, you'll know that I also had the 𝐂𝐇𝐀𝐏𝐿 Moisture Foundation, which I loved, but I'd since finished. It comes in 20 mils, so I went through it quite quickly. But while I did enjoy that one, these are my 2 favorites. So this is a repurchase. I used to have this in the shade B20. Now I have this in the shade BR22. Both of these foundations are quite different. So if we look at both of them, as you can see, the Sisley Phyto-Teint Nude Foundation is a lot more watery and runny. This feels very, very hydrating on my skin. And this is also my perfect shade match right here. The Chanel I love. It's definitely not my perfect shade match, as you can see. It's too cool toned, so I still didn't purchase the right shade. It just looked great in the boutique, but yeah, no cigar. It does work, but yes, unfortunately, just not the perfect shade match, but it's okay. So this one is the Chanel Ultra Le Teint in BR22, and this one is the Sisley Phyto-Teint Nude Foundation in 1W Cream. So the Chanel is more full coverage. However, if you just apply a little bit, it shears out beautifully, and it just provides such a flawless base. I love using this one for work because it is so long lasting. I don't need to worry about it fading. It looks just as good at the end of the day. This foundation it feels wonderful on the skin. So I purchased this in February this year, and I have about this much left. So I am going to send the remaining of this to my mom because she's curious to try it, and I will repurchase this 100%. I'm not interested in trying any other foundation. I love this one. I love wearing this foundation on the weekends. It's just stunning. It makes my skin feel really good, and I find it just gives that extra radiance to the skin, but it's not shiny. It's just a really gorgeous foundation. So definitely repurchase this. And it will probably take me the rest of the year to finish this one. Even though it isn't the perfect shade for me, that's okay. But I do want to get another shade. I'll just need to make sure it has a more yellow base to it. It isn't so cool toned. So I will be keeping both foundations. I'll send this one off to my mum and repurchase another bottle, but both are definitely worth keeping. I also finished the Chanel Water Fresh tint, and I loved mixing it with this, but I also finished the Le Beige highlighting fluid in Sunkissed, and I've been without both for a while now. And I think out of those two products, I will repurchase the highlighting fluid because I burn through that Water Fresh tint so freaking quickly. And the highlighting fluid is more versatile, so I can use it as a highlighter or mix it with my base. I really do miss mixing it with my base just because it provides that extra luminosity, just because this is quite matte. So I will be repurchasing the Chanel Le Beige highlighting fluid in Sunkissed soon. All right, moving on to concealers. So I have 3. I'm going to be decluttering 1. So this one is from SURRATT, and I'm sure you've heard people in the beauty community discussing this. It is their Dewdrop Concealer. I have mine in the shade 4. And it is a wonderful shade for me, very brightening under the eye. So I love using this as an under eye concealer. This is wonderful. But for general spot concealing, I prefer this one from 𝐂𝐇𝐀𝐏𝐿, and I have mine in the shade Almond, which is darker, so that's why I prefer using it on my face. So I use this for the under eye and this for on my face. Both of these are a key. The one I'm going to be decluttering and passing on to my mum because I know she loves this one, and in the same shade is this one from SISLEY. I just don't reach for this as often as I reach for these two. Whenever I want to use something under my eyes, I always reach for the one by SURRATT. And for my face, I always reach for this one by 𝐂𝐇𝐀𝐏𝐿. So these two make sense for me, and I know my mum loves this one, so I'm going to pass this one on to her. For contour, I have one contour product. It is from Westman Atelier, and I first purchased this in the mini, and I've since finished that, so I recently repurchased the full size. It is the contour stick in the shade Biscuit, and I really love how blendable and how cool toned this is. It's just so effortless. I didn't hesitate to repurchase this one. For bronzers, I have 3 different products here, and I'm going to be decluttering 1. So I have one cream bronzer from Chanel, and this is in the shade 395 Soleil Tan Deep Bronze. And then this powder one from Tom Ford that I have in the shade Terra. And finally, this shade from 𝐿𝐿𝐼. This was one of their limited edition shades that came out, I want to say in 2021 or 22. It's one of those, I think, and it's in the shade Ray. And I'm going to be decluttering this one just because I don't reach for this anymore. And I think I find it too warm toned for my liking now. So I'm going to swatch these and compare for you. The swatches appear how the products appear. So here we have the 𝐿𝐿𝐼, Tom Ford, and the Chanel. So I just find the 𝐿𝐿𝐼 has a bit too much red in it for me now. And I really love these two, and they're different enough for me to justify keeping these. And I'm going to get rid of the 𝐿𝐿𝐼. It's lovely, I just don't reach for it. And I really love the finish of these. They both have a matte finish to them. This one has more shimmer. So I just prefer these two now, and these are all that I need. And while we're here, I'm going to swatch Westman Atelier with these two that I am keeping, just so you can see my contour and bronzer products together. So these are the shades that I have, and these are great for me. Very happy to keep these 3. So these right here are the ones I will be keeping. Here are my highlighters. So I have 3, and I'm going to be decluttering 1, keeping in mind that I am repurchasing the Chanel Le Beige highlighting fluid in Sunkissed soon. So I have this one here from Westman Atelier in the shade Nectar, which is very subtle but very beautiful. My favorite of these 3 is this one by Westman Atelier also. the Super Loaded Tinted Highlight in Peau de Rosé. This is definitely the one I reach for the most often. Apologies, I forgot about another one. This is one by SURRATT. Okay, getting ahead of myself here. So these two are the ones I use the most. Nectar and Peau de Rosé. Provide a very lovely sheen. The one I don't reach for much anymore is this one by Burberry. It's quite old as well. This is in the shade Rose Gold, so a similar vibe. I used to use this one quite a bit, but lately I just prefer the look of cream highlighters. I don't reach for powder highlighters anymore, so even though this is lovely, it's just not something that I use. So I'm going to let go of this one. I'm going to give this one to someone I know. So this is beautiful. This is Rose Diamante, the Torch Lumiere highlight from SURRATT. It's a lot frostier than the one by Westman Atelier. So you can even see there that it's quite pink and frosty, and it's beautiful, but ultimately this one is my favorite. So, I mean, between these two, I always reach for this one. I love the finish. I just find it's a bit softer, a bit more elegant. This one is a bit more bling. So I'm going to pass this one along. And these two highlighters from Westman Atelier I will be keeping, but I'll also be bringing in the one from Chanel. For brows, I just have these two products here, and I'm going to declutter this pencil from Gucci. It is in the shade 4. Nothing wrong with it, I don't use it. I don't really use anything in my brows these days. And I was using the SURRATT eyebrow gel, but I recently finished it and I replaced it with this one from Benefit, the 24-hour brow setter, and I am enjoying this one. I don't think it's my absolute favorite brow product. I do still find my brows move around during the day. So I'm struggling to find something that really sticks these stubborn hairs down. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. But in the meantime, I will finish this one. I did just purchase the mini, and I'm glad because I do want to try another one after this, but this one is just fine. It doesn't leave anything in my brows. The SURRATT one did. I once had a coworker ask me, "Oh, did you put something blue in your eyebrows today?" And I was mortified. Haven't had that with this one. But yes, I need something stronger, and I have used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze, and that one was fine, but a little too clunky. So I like the thinness of this one, but I need something stronger. So any suggestions, let me know. I have one mascara, and my all-time favorite mascara is Sisley's Mascara So Volume. So I thought I would try this one by YSL, and I currently am using the brown one because I do prefer brown mascaras lately. So this is quite a lovely brown for a mascara. It's lighter than the brown one in Sisley's So Volume, but this one smudges the tiniest bit on me, and the Sisley one never smudges ever. It's perfect. So I bought this because it's half the price of less than half the price of Sisley's one, but that smudging thing really irritates me. I might just end up purchasing the Sisley one again because I'm struggling to find a good brown mascara that is volumizing, lengthening, and doesn't smudge, doesn't flake, and is also easy to remove because this is annoying to remove. I do not enjoy it. I feel like I'm butchering my lashes in the process even though I'm using eye makeup remover. So I'm not going to repurchase this. I will likely purchase the Sisley So Volume again. But I will say it does make my lashes look nice. Not as nice as the Sisley So Volume, but they do look nice. Just nice, nothing great. So here are my single eyeshadows. And I'm going to be decluttering 4 of these. 3 of them are going to be the 𝐂𝐇𝐏𝐿 eye paints because I simply just don't use them and they are quite old. So I'm going to be getting rid of these, and I'm also going to be decluttering this really lovely one by Bobbi Brown. It's in the shade Moonstone. I just have other shades that are quite similar. I think This one by Urban Decay is very similar. So for me, these are very similar. You can't even really pick up on the differences here. But the Urban Decay has more of a champagne base, which I really like, whereas the Bobbi Brown is just more frosty. So I'm going to pass this one along. I might also declutter this one from Chanel. This is a tough one because it's a beautiful shade. This is in the shade Rouge Profond and it's beautiful, right? But I just don't reach for it. I think it's too dark to use for what I'd want to use it for. Like, it looks lovely there, but on my eyes, I think it just is, it's too heavy. It's too heavy and I don't enjoy dark colors on my eyes these days. I mean, I look at this. I remember this happened last time. I look at the shade and I think, oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. I think, all right, now we're getting into it. I think I have a very similar shade. Do I in here? Let's see. So I just grabbed this shade from Byredo's Remembrance palette. And this is a lot more warm toned. I also have this shade here from the Pat McGrath Quad in Interstellar Icon. So there are those comparisons there. And this is the Chanel. It's sort of in between those. So what if I just put a little bit of that on here? Very similar. So I am going to, yes, I am going to declutter the Chanel one. I don't reach for it and I can make something very similar. Okay, so we're letting go of the Violette FR and Moonstone by Bobbi Brown. I'm definitely, while this is here, I am keeping this Pat McGrath Quad in Interstellar Icon. It's just truly so, so beautiful. This shade here, this one at the top, is so stunning. It's so, so beautiful. It has such a nice gleam to it. Let me show you the other colors while we're here. So here are the shades in that quad. It's so beautiful. I really enjoy this one. I use this one for work quite a bit as well. It's very versatile. And while this is here and open, I just wanted to show you this Byredo Remembrance palette. It is my one large eyeshadow palette and I really enjoy it. I've used it quite a bit this year, as you can see, and the shades are just magnificent. I am excited to see what they will release this year. So this is a definite keep for me. I adore using this. The shadow formula is divine. Back to the single shadows, back to our regularly scheduled programming. My mum passed on this 𝐂𝐇𝐀𝐏𝐿 single eyeshadow to me in the shade Rhino, and it is delectable. I now understand the fuss about these shadows and I can't capture it well here. The sparkle is truly really detectable in person, and I'll link a really good video in my description box to a 𝐂𝐇𝐀𝐏𝐿 review by the Style Stumbler in case you want to see all the shades swatched. So this shadow is a keep. Urban Decay Space Cowboy is a keep. This one by Chanel, we are saying bye-bye. Now I finished my Violette FR U paint in Petite Culotte, which I often used as a primer. And then there's this one by 𝐿𝐸𝐻𝐿, which I've done a comparison video on. This still has some life left to it, yet it is drying out, but I will finish it. I really enjoy it, but it is a lovely base. It's nice and cool toned. So yes, I really enjoy this one. So this is a keep and I will finish. I use this MAC paint pot in Painterly as a primer. I think this is going to live longer than all of us. I've used it very, very often, but there is still quite a bit left, but I have made quite a dent. SURRATT sent me these eyeshadows and I'm so terrible that I haven't done a video on them, so I'm going to talk to you about them now. These are lovely. The texture is very unusual. So I have mine in the shades Gris Doux and Noir d'Argent on this side, okay? And the texture, as I'm sure you've heard people talk about, it's like it's very cold and jello-like, like jello that is hardened. So you wouldn't be able to put all your finger through it, or you wouldn't want to, But these are wonderful, so I'm gonna swatch them for you. And I feel hand swatches don't do these shadows justice. It's also, let's try it on the other hand actually. And swatches honestly don't do these shadows justice. It's really hard to see them properly because they come out quite sheer, but you can see I'm even going over it now and they're not budging. So they really stay put. It's surprising. And the level of sparkle in these is very similar to the level of sparkle in these shadows by 𝐂𝐇𝐀𝐏𝐿. It's just a very different formula. So these are very thin, but I find them surprisingly long wearing. Because when I first put these on, I thought these aren't gonna last, but they do. It's quite surprising. And I'm really leaning towards these more cool tones lately. So I'm really happy to have these two. I also had another shade, but I passed that one on. It was the more golden sort of shade, but these two are really, really lovely and they're great single shadows to have. They're just unlike anything else available right now. That's the cool thing about SURRATT that I really enjoy. They're very unique, so I'll be keeping these two. The wear time on these, I'd say, is about 5 to 6 hours before I notice any creasing, and the creasing is very mild. All right, so this shadow by Chanel in Undertone. I absolutely love it. It is such a beautiful one and done shade, and I've used it a lot. It is starting to dry up on me, so do I repurchase another one even though this isn't finished? I mean, it still works, but it's quite old. I'd say I had purchased it going on 3 years ago now. So it has been a while, but it's stunning. I love it. But even if I try to get I have to really dig in and get see, it's getting kind of crumbly now. So it's just here. It blends in really well with my hand, which isn't very helpful. You can kind of see it there, but it's beautiful. I mean, even on my hand right now, it just looks so stunning. Okay, so I'll keep this. I mean, it's looking stunning on my hand right now, so I'll keep it, and when I do feel it is too dry, I will repurchase this one. I just love it. I don't need to apply a primer or a base or anything under this. It works perfectly on its own as a one and done. So really, really pretty. So these here are my single eyeshadows that I will be keeping. All right, moving on to eyeshadows. So the eyeshadow quads you're currently looking at are the ones that I will be letting go of. So let's go brand by brand. Let's start with these ones from Chanel. So there is nothing wrong with these quads necessarily. I do find this one here, what's it, 𝐂𝐇𝐀𝐏𝐿. I do find this one quite dry. This shade is the only special one for me in this quad, but I find this shade very similar to a shade in a quad that I'm keeping. So let me find that one. God. All right, there's an art to this decluttering business, let me tell you. So let's sidetrack and let's talk about these SURRATT shadows. So here is the Beyond Beige quad, but I've changed it a little bit. So this shade here was normally here. So I've switched these two. This shade is cooler toned and has sparkle, whereas this shade is just matte. So this shade is the one that I replaced the other shade with. So this was the matte, and this is the sparkly one. It's very subtle, but now Beyond Beige is the perfect quad for me here, just by swapping out those two shades. So again, I swapped these two. I swapped these two shades. I don't use the other eyeshadows in here. And this is nice, but I have a very similar shade in the Byredo Remembrance palette, so I don't need this, despite the formula being lovely. Whereas these shades here, I absolutely love. This is perfect for every day or for travel. I've used them a lot. So this is a keep. my repurposed SURRATT Beyond Beige, whereas this one here, and these shades are pretty, there's nothing wrong with them, I just don't reach for them. So I'm going to pass this along and keep this one. Go along. It feels like such a shame to let these go, but I don't reach for them. Now, the reason I was keeping both of these quads, one was for this shade, but this shade is very similar to the shade I showed you in the Pat McGrath Interstellar Icon quad. So I don't need this. It's also very similar to this shade, and I'm keeping this one. This is Warm Memories by Chanel. It's very similar to this one here. So since I'm keeping this and the Pat McGrath, I certainly don't need to keep this whole quad just for this shade. So I'm going to pass this along. And similarly for this one, I was keeping it mainly for this shade, because this shade, despite being beautiful in the pan, it doesn't appear that way on the eye. It's quite, it doesn't have a lot of saturation to it. This one's beautiful. I did a whole video dedicated to this quad, so it feels kind of silly. But I prefer the blue in the Pat McGrath Interstellar Icon compared to this one. And I did swatch them side by side in my own time. And the Pat McGrath one is cooler in tone, so let me show you this one. This one is just not as special. So on me, I do prefer this one. This is a bit more green, whereas this blue, I think it's just electrifying. It's so beautiful. So I'm gonna keep, like I said, keep this quad. And Mystic Peacock, unfortunately, is gonna go. And I'm also keeping Chanel Warm Memories, so let's put that back. Chanel 𝐂𝐇𝐀𝐏𝐿𝐿. Now this quad here, this was my very first Chanel eyeshadow quad, so it feels a bit special, but I don't reach for this anymore. The red shade is quite pretty, but I'm just not leaning towards warm tones lately. And it's old, I don't use it. That's enough for me to say goodbye. Like I said, I have a very similar shade in this, in the SURRATT, my repurposed SURRATT Beyond Beige quad, and I don't use the other shades, so this is a go. This is very pretty, but I don't use it. It's quite, this is called Code Elegant 274. Pretty, I've hardly used it, so this will definitely be given to somebody else. This one by Pat McGrath, my mum passed on to me, and we both agree that it looks really pretty in the pan, but it's just hard to make it look cool on the eyes. So unfortunately, I just don't reach for this one. I reach for the other one, Interstellar Icon, much more. So I'm going to pass this along. This one by LH Cosmetics is so pretty. The shimmers are unreal in this thing. What gets me is that the colors just aren't quite it for me. They feel too, I don't know, frosty. They're not good for all year round. Like, it's very pastel. I would love it if she would come out with something in the same formula, but with slightly more, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but do you know what I mean? Like, this is very pink, for example. Like, it's very pretty. Let's see if I swatch these. So they're very nice, but they just I don't reach for these on the daily. Like, it's not something that I think to wear, despite the shadows being so lovely. Like, the formula is nice, the sparkle is sensational, but again, I don't reach for them. So I'm sure I could find someone who would absolutely love it and get use out of it. Okay, here's where we have to have a heart-to-heart, and I need to confess my sins. I remember being so excited to purchase this. I made a whole video about this. I was so into it, and I just don't use it. I just don't reach for purples, and if I do, it's in the form of a liner. And I know other people didn't have luck with this quint, and the formula wasn't so great. I have no complaints about the formula. It's lovely. I just don't reach for it. I'm sure that I could find somebody who would love this and love having it and will use it. And that would make me a lot happier than me just having it, you know? So, I'm gonna pass this one along, so it's going in the giveaway pile. Let's look at my other Byredo quints here. I love Byredo eyeshadows. And I think between all of these, I can remain satisfied for a long time and not really have cravings. I love all of these. I know it seems ridiculous, but I'm looking at these right now and I can't let go of any of them. I love having color options, and the formula in these is absolutely outstanding. They are applied very well with fingers, all of these. If I want to sex it up with some eyeshadow, I reach for this one. This is Fête Noire. It's absolutely beautiful. There is no way I would let go of this one. I've been using this one quite a bit, despite not being into warm tones that much lately. I am still reaching for this. This is Disco. It's just so creamy and lovely. I've also been reaching for this one, Corporate Colors. I particularly love these two shades here. Just absolutely sublime. Metal Boots in the Snow. I have a whole video on this one as well. Very cool, very like sexy, but grungy, but funky. Just, I love this one. I love all of them. These are all loves. I've done a video with this one. I haven't done a video with this one. I'm not sure if anyone's interested. But yes, I adore all of these. I can't say that for the Purple Echo one, which is why I have passed it on, but I am crazy about Byredo eyeshadow. I think the packaging is really cool. I love how compact it is. I love how the eyeshadows all pack a punch. They're all very pretty. The color stories are very unique. I love the different textures in them. I just love these. These make me very, very excited. And it takes a lot for me to purchase something as huge as this. This for me is huge. So I'm happy to keep these eyeshadows. Other eyeshadows I'm keeping, I'm just gonna show you them all together. I've already talked about most of these. So I have my repurposed SURRATT Beyond Beige, Pat McGrath Interstellar Icon, Chanel Warm Memories, and also Chanel Tissé Rivoli. I love all of these. These are a keep for me. The last eyeshadow product we need to talk about is this Quad by LH Cosmetics. And I'm so torn on this because as you can see, I've barely used it, but I love the idea of having it. And I'm wondering if that's a problem. But I mean, the pigment on these, if I just, do you see that? I mean, it's so good. And I'm thinking if I do want to have a day where I just, you know, have some fun, or I want to put some color on my eyes. I mean, how cool is that? It is so saturated. It's a really creamy matte. I mean, you know, I think I'll regret not having this one because there might be a day where I just want to have some fun and have a monochromatic, colorful eyeshadow look, and this would be what I would reach for. Okay, so thank you for that discussion. That is decided. Oh, and I can see one more eyeshadow product that I missed. This is the About Face Loose Pigment, and this is in the color Saint Ceremony, and I love this. This is just gorgeous, so beautiful. My mum gave this to me, actually. It's just so beautiful. I love this one. So that's always fun to put on the eyes, so that'll be a keep. All right, here are all of my liners. And I'm classifying this one from Sisley as a liner. This is one of their eye crayons and it's in a very pretty green. I've done a video with this as well. And I mainly use this as an eyeliner, not an all over eyeshadow. This one is a keep, love the color. Here are, well, I've already swatched them as you can see. Okay, so here are my lip liners. As you can see, I really love this one in Beige Natural. I reached for this one the most. And then the one I reached for next is Chocolate. And I also really enjoy Rose The. This is newer to me. Bought it earlier this year. And I also like Nude, but I don't use it as often. I also found as I was collecting my makeup for this video that I still had this Chanel lip liner in Nude Brun. So number 162. So it was hiding in the lining area of my case, but I'm glad. Okay, so we have Nude Brun, Beige Natural, Chocolate, Rose The, and Nude. And I love that Nude Brun is in between Beige Natural and Chocolate, because I really would love Sisley to have a color in between these, but they don't. So Sisley is my favorite formula for lip liner of all time, but Chanel I'd say is second. Not a close second, but second. The Sisley lip liners are sensational, and lip liner, I tell you, it's up there with my top favorite makeup products. I mean, if I could only put 3 products on my face, I would put this foundation, a Sisley lip liner, and a balm on top. And that would be fine. Like, I feel so naked without lip liner on, because my lip line is not very defined because I don't have a lot of pigmentation in my lips. And I just love these. They're creamy, they last all day, they are gorgeous. So I do think, that said, I will purchase the Nude Brun because it's a wonderful color, and sometimes I'm looking for a color just like this, like a bit more of a cool toned color than Beige Natural. Okay, but all of these are a keep. I love them. And the other ones I have here, so I used to always use Victoria Beckham Cocoa, and I loved it, but I finished it and it's gone. I completely used it up, and I didn't trust myself to go on the Victoria Beckham website and only walk away with the liner. And I also don't like how I can't use that liner in my waterline without it transferring or smudging. It's a beautiful liner, but I wanted something that just lasted longer. And these liners by NYX are excellent. So it's the NYX Epic Wear Liner Stick, and I have mine in black and deepest brown, sorry. So you can see them here. This is black and this is deepest brown, which is very similar, if not the same as Cocoa. I don't have Cocoa here to compare, but I used it a lot, and I can tell you I don't notice any difference in the color on my eye. And it lasts all day. I can smudge it out a little bit if I want to, if I'm fast enough. Can wear it in the waterline. It's a perfect eyeliner. So I'm very, very happy with these two. My liquid liner is from SURRATT. I love how thin the pen is, so this is wonderful. My other liners are from Sisley, and yes, I know. But I do love all of these. So I have them in sparkling black, sparkling gray, and mystic blue, sparkling blue, mystic plum. I love all of these. These are great. I thought I had, oh, there's mystic green. Okay, yes. So these are the ones I have. I love them. If you've seen me have more in the past, I'm not sure if I mentioned, but I gave a couple to my mom, and I think she really likes them too. These are wonderful if you just want to jazz up your eye look a little bit. They have this sparkle to them. Like, for example, Mystic Green is so pretty. It looks really dark. Like, it doesn't tell you anything when I just swatch it like that. You really have to see it in person. It has this ever so subtle sparkle to it. Let's see, let's also look at sparkling blue. This one's fun. You can see the sparkle a bit better. But yes, I love these. These are creamy, they last, they don't transfer, they're beautiful, love them. Okay, so those are all my liners. Oh my goodness, I am a liar pants on fire. I kept a little bit, and I mean a little bit of Cocoa just for you, I remember now. Okay, so let's swatch it next to, but do you see what I mean? Like, it's basically done. I'm struggling to sharpen it. It doesn't sharpen to a complete, it doesn't sharpen anymore. It's very difficult. Okay. So here is Cocoa, and here is the NYX Deep Brown. You see how similar they are? Cocoa is just the slightest bit more warm toned, but honestly, I can't really tell the difference. Let's let this dry down to Cocoa. Very, very similar, okay? So if that matters to you and you prefer something a little warmer, stick with Cocoa, but I love love, love the formula of this one much more. So yes, apologies. I completely forgot that I had kept it for the purposes of this video. But yes, I'm happy to say bye-bye to this one now. It's driving me crazy because I can't, yeah, like I said, I can't sharpen it anymore just because I put it in the sharpener and it doesn't, it's like it's too short. You know what I mean? So anyway, there's the comparison once again, Cocoa and the NYX Deep Brown. The other liner I'm going to declutter is this one from Lancome. It's in Deep Black and it's because I prefer this one by NYX, okay? Do you see how this one by Lancome, it's less saturated? So I just swatched it there. Whereas this is like black, 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 okay? And when I use black liner, I want it to be like this. This is more of a nondescript black. So if you want something a bit smudgier and less intense, then this one is great. It's good liner. I just don't reach for it because I love, love, love this one. And the reason I purchased the NYX liner is because I have a friend who's a makeup artist and this is the one she used on me. And I messaged her later and I said, what liner did you use on me? Because it's lasted all day, all night, hasn't budged in my waterline whatsoever. And it was this one. So that kicked this one out. So I'm going to let this go. Okay, and just to show you, so I'm getting rid of my swatches as I go. And this liner almost stays too well because I've been scrubbing my hand for a while and it's still there. So it definitely stays put. All right, now let's move on to blush. So the blushes here are the ones I am decluttering. So I have these two by SURRATT, which as you can see, I haven't used. This is enough to drive anyone crazy, isn't it? But yes, I don't use these two colors and I apologize. I don't remember what these colors are. They're nice. I mean, the SURRATT blush formula, as we'll get to, is one of my favorite powder blush formulas of all time. But plain and simple, I just don't use these two. So these are gonna go. Now, this is a bit silly, isn't it? Because I purchased these during my low buy last year. I just broke and I had to have these Patrick Tar blushes. And now here they are, so lesson learned. But this is the shade She's Seductive, which I will say I did use quite a bit. And this is the shade She's Blushing, which is too warm for my liking. So She's Blushing was described as a beige, but as you can see, it's not quite that. She's Seductive is more of a beigey tone. So let's compare for you. So there is She's Blushing and She's Seductive. And I just don't reach for these. Like, they're nice, but again, all of these are a little, they're not special enough for me to keep because as you're gonna see, I have a lot of blush. So I definitely got sucked into the hype of these. I mean, they're very nice blushes, but they don't blow my knickers off, you know? Whereas I do prefer the formula of SURRATT, but I just don't enjoy these colors. And I have this one by Makeup by Mario in Plumberry. And I am going to show you why I am getting rid of this one. Okay, so this I believe is the shade Rougeur, which looks like that. Plumberry is darker, right? But when I smudge, and so I'm just gonna smudge this out. So on my skin tone, I do prefer this one on me. And I don't reach for this as much anymore, so I am going to let this one go. I just haven't reached for it in a very long time, and that is always indicative of something, especially since I haven't purchased very much new makeup this year, so I'm going to let this one go. This one by 𝐂𝐇𝐀𝐏𝐿 is lovely, and I do have another one by them, which I use a lot more. So I love this one by 𝐂𝐂𝐀𝐏𝐿 here in this lavender shade. It's stunning. I love almost using it as a blush topper, like on top of one of my other blushes. Whereas this shade, I don't reach for as often. I love the idea of this, but again, it's just not a color I reach for. I don't think it's very flattering on me now. So I'm going to get rid of this one. But I am keeping the lavender one. And while I got rid of Plumberry by Makeup by Mario, I am keeping Earthy Pink and Raspberry in the same formula, because I do love the formula. So I'll just show you the different ones. So we have Plumberry, Earthy Pink and Raspberry I love, and Earthy Pink and Raspberry I use, whereas this one I do not. So I'm going to keep these two. Hold that thought. Let's go through the blushes I have. And okay, so these are my SURRATT blushes and I love all of these. I did rearrange the colors a little bit. So I used to have Rougeur in with these guys here, but I moved so I moved these two around. So I love how they are composed now. I feel like I don't need to keep either of these actually. Let's see. This is where things are gonna get complicated. And I'm gonna bring out my other blushes while we're here. These are all a preliminary keep. Okay, is that all the blush? Oh no. Oh, I know I'm getting rid of this one. This is the SISLEY Phyto Blush Twist in the shade Contour. And it's nice, but I prefer the other previous products that I kept, you know, the Westman Atelier Contour Stick and Biscuit and the Chanel Cream Bronzer and Tom Ford Bronzer. So yes, that's why I'm not keeping this one. So this is also decluttered. Okay, so let's have all of these out in the open. Don't get tired, Brittany. Don't get tired. This NARS palette is a definite keep. I love it. This is the Orgasm Foreplay Blush Quad. I love everything about it. Usually what I do is I get my brush and I swish it in all the shades and it just has a really nice sheen, and I'm realizing I love blush that has a sheen, which is making me question if I want to keep these two. So, this is a definite keep. So let's see. I'm thinking these two shades here are going to be similar. Let's take, ooh, oh my gosh, I forgot how beautiful this is. Oh, that's stunning. Okay, and then let's put this. They are different. Okay. Will they be that different on the face? I mean, this has a lot more red in it than this one. Okay, so maybe we keep raspberry, but what about earthy pink? I feel like these two here, so this one and earthy pink, they'll be similar. We're rolling up. Oh, let's roll up the sleeve. Okay, so earthy pink. Oh, it's pretty. And this one, I can't remember what this shade is called, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this blush is so nice. I definitely prefer the formula of this. Yeah. Okay, struggling. This is why I left blush for later, because I knew it would be tricky. See, I love these because they have a sheen to them. So that one's the one I just swatched there. Okay, you know what? I'm going to declutter Earthy Pink. Okay. Bye-bye. Done. All right. Yeah. Because it's very similar to, I feel like that's similar to the Patrick Ta one that I just decluttered. I'm just curious. In Shiz Blushing, don't you think it looked similar? Oh my gosh. Yeah, they're basically the same. Okay, that helps. Yeah, so Makeup by Mario, Earthy Pink, and Patrick Ta, Shiz Blushing are very similar, just so you know. Okay, great. So these, all right, let's compare. I love this Sisley one. It has a gorgeous sheen to it. Is it similar to Orgasm by NARS? No. No, the Sisley is much more neutral. Orgasm is much more pink, like an orangey pink almost. I think these make sense because I do love having cream. These are my cream options down here. Okay, so I have a pink, like a neutral shimmery pink, a very bright cool pink, and a warm toned sort of everyday neutral. This is Chanel number 20, by the way. Very nice, gorgeous. If you just want a very polished, like corporate, just a something sort of there kind of blush, that's my top recommendation for that. That and Grisaille by SURRATT. And the lavender shade, like I said, is just beautiful. It just provides that extra little something something to your face, you know? That little, ooh, what is that? You are looking radiant. It's this. And this one by Chanel in 170, again, it has that shimmer in it, which I really, really love. I know you can't see it. It's so subtle. Love it. Okay, yes. These are keeps for me. I think all of these are keeps. They're making me excited. All right. I feel good getting rid of the other Makeup by Mario one though. Do you like this one in raspberry? Because I don't feel I have a color like it. I really love Baba Papa. I've loved this one for a long time. It was in my top 5 favorite blushes video like over a year ago. And so was this one by Chanel. So these two are the survivors. I don't think any of the others made it. So that goes to show I really love these two. I love my SURRATT blushes. I mean, look how many different shade options I have. 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 blushes. My God, that's enough. Okay, but I feel like they are all quite different enough, don't you think? I have deep options, bright options, cool options, warm options. I feel like this all makes sense. I'm just showing you the shades one more time. I feel like this makes sense for blush. You might think I'm a little ridiculous, but I love having the palettes. It just helps everything make a bit more sense to me. You know, I love this palette. I take this with me when I travel. I love having this as a neutral option. I love even combining these two shades sometimes is stunning. If I want to be a bit more out there, I have this as an option. I have an orange, I have a deeper one, lavender, a few creams. I feel like this is good. It's not minimalist by any means, but this is great. I'm really happy with these blushes. Oh, I feel so happy now. Okay. I don't feel like I've been ruthless for the sake of being ruthless. I'm keeping things that I know I will use. Okay, that only leaves lipsticks, and my God, I've been dreading this part. Okay, oh my God. So, ladies and gentlemen, what you are looking at are the lip products I will be decluttering. I know I can hear the rocks being thrown at the screen right now. So, a lot of beautiful products here. I'm not going to get rid tell me if this is silly, but I don't want to get rid of the cases for some of them. Anyway, we'll get there. Let's start with these Violette FR lipsticks. Beautiful shades. I've featured them in videos before. I love them. However, they are quite old. Can you see how the pigment in this one, for example, you can see the orange bits? I mean, I've had these for a while and I just don't reach for liquid lip products anymore. I just don't. I don't enjoy a liquid lipstick. Even though the formula of this is very nice, it's thin, just don't reach for it. I prefer a satin lip. So these are going. Lisa Eldridge, I am done with. I'm not into it. This is a very pretty color. This is Skyscraper Rose, but I prefer my Sisley lipstick in Rose Mexico compared to this one. So, and they're very similar. So I'm going to let go of this one. Sisley lipstick in Beige Barley, I did use quite a bit, but it's a little too warm toned. Whenever I put it on, I just think, oh, it's like a little too warm for my liking. Like it's got too much of that brick component, and I'm realizing I don't really enjoy super, super warm tones on my lips. I am a changing woman, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, I got my use out of it, but I know that I'm not really fussed about this color anymore. Okay, what's this other one? This And speaking of orange colors, oh, look at this. This looks revolting. This is similar. I got this for free. So this was a gift with purchase. This is the shade 32 Orange Calvi. And yeah, just don't reach for it. Too warm for my liking. And while we're on that route, this is the Armani Lip Power in the shade 302. Stunning orange that I don't wear. And this is the shade 403, which is nice, but I needed to be brutal about my red. Ooh, but as I swatch that, it's so hard to not keep it. But I know I have other reds and we will get to them, but I have other reds that I prefer that are more vibrant and I think more flattering against my face. So we're just gonna do it. Gonna say bye to that as well. All right, and we have some reds here in the beloved Dries Van Noten, and it kills me that I don't know which red is which. Okay, this is one of the sheer formulas. I believe it has pink in the name. Street Pink, I want to say. Is it? Let's compare. See, this is ridiculous. I mean, so many reds. I don't need this many reds. Yeah, okay. Oh, what is this? This is another Violette FR U paint that I am getting rid of. Okay, this is the blue one. Oh my God. Okay, let me see what these colors are. That one's there. Okay, sorted it out. So, yes. I just want to get my other Dries Van Noten lipsticks. You see, I went through my collection before filming just so I knew what I was doing. Okay, I'm keeping this one. Okay, I want to compare the red that I chose. I believe that this is Uniform Red, the one that I'm keeping. And I think this is Forever Red. This one, let me get clear. This is Forever Red, this is Uniform Red, and this is the one I've decided to keep. Yes, that is correct. But do I prefer Forever Red? Oh my gosh, come on. Okay, yeah. Anyway, lesson learned. When I find a product I like, I don't need to buy something so similar to it. It's just ridiculous. Okay, I have to trust my earlier self that these are the ones I wanted to keep of the DVN. All right, so what I'm thinking is that I'm going to keep the cases of these just in case buy another Dries Van Noten lipstick in the future. Is that ridiculous? I mean, the cases are not cheap, you know? So I think that's what I'll do for now. I will keep the cases and I might rearrange the ones in mine a bit just to have a bit more variety, provide that feeling of newness. But I am going to get rid of these 3 shades because it's just ridiculous to have so many similar ones. Okay, this Byredo lipstick in Feverish. I love the case for this. I loved the idea of this, but I don't use this. It is too, I don't know. It just doesn't flatter me. It's missing that little something. Although applied sheerly, I think it could be nice. Oh, that is pretty. Like applied sheerly like that. Maybe that's the lesson learned. Just apply it sheerly and not so thickly. Okay, we'll give this another round. And if the next time I do a declutter I haven't used it, then it's going. Okay, all right, so that's a keep. Tom Ford lip gloss in the buff. I have used this a lot, as you can see. I've had it for a while. Doesn't really spark joy anymore. It's quite, as you can see there, it's, I don't know, quite, that's not very pleasant to look at, is it? It's, yeah, it's lovely, but it's a little too wet for what I like now. I'm getting a bit fussy with my lip gloss preferences, but it was fun while it lasted. Mr. Ford. What is this? This does not belong here. Okay, Byredo liquid lip vinyl, too warm. It's weird because when I apply it there, I'm like, oh, that's a nice color. But on my lips, I don't like it. Can't remember the color of this. I'll put it in the description box, what this shade is. because I know there aren't too many swatches out there. But the one I do love and the one I use a lot is called Unreasonable Doubt. And this is the one I'm keeping. Oh yeah, I can see now. Okay. So as you can see, this is a lot more cool toned. I love, love, love this color. I especially love dabbing it on. So yeah, this is just way too warm compared to this one. So yeah, this one is going. I love the formula of these, but the packaging gives me the, you know, it's just, whenever I open it and then close it, there will be some product. You see that? There'll be some product that collects around the side. So you have to be careful when you put it back in your bag if you're carrying it in your purse, because that is annoying. Anyway, Unreasonable Doubt, gorgeous. Gorgeous color. All right, we have a SURRATT lip gloss here. There isn't anything particularly wrong with this. I just never reached for it. It is quite grippy. So there it is there. Has a nice sheen to it. This is in the shade Ensoleil. Does it have a number? No. So Lip Luster in Ensoleil. Again, lovely, but don't reach for it. So we're not gonna think about it too hard. We're just gonna get rid of it. Clarins lip oil. I really love this lip oil, and I'm keeping the one in the shade Deep Camellia. I use this way more than I use this one in Intense Rosewood. This is the intense version, by the way. Love, love, love the shade. I always keep this in my purse, so it's always just available to have on hand. It's nourishing, provides perfect amount of color, really comfortable, perfect to have in my bag. This one I don't reach for. Pretty, but I always reach for this one. It's a lesson learned. Just buy one of something. You don't need to have more, Brittany. Okay, so this one's going. I have these Givenchy liquid balms. They're lovely, but these have run out. Like whenever I try and get something now, I keep on having to go back in. It looks like I have a lot of product, but trust me, it's barely anything applies now. This one my mum passed down to me, but same, it's just not long happening. This is in 210 and this is in 11. Both are going. Lovely packaging, I will say. Very, very luxe, very heavy, Westman Atelier style. But yes, these are Dunzos. The Galant Kiss Kiss Shine Bloom in 139 Dahlia Kiss. I've had this for ages. It's nice, but I don't reach for it anymore. Again, it's just like, I don't use it. I used it a lot back in the day. I've had this for a long time. It's just always in my purse. But now I prefer the Clarins lip oil for that always in the purse product. So this is going. All right, I have these lipsticks by Galant. I know, I never use these. The formula's nice. It's just not my colors. I think I got sucked in by the marketing, especially if Violette FR was wearing a shade. Like, this looks very pretty, right? But I just don't wear it. I think that's the shade Berry Alchemy. I have no idea what this shade is. It's pretty red, but again, focus, come on. But again, just don't wear it. There's really no point in me swatching these if I have no idea what the shades are called. But yeah, I don't wear these shades. I don't reach for them. I was in a Galant, no, I was in like some sort of Galant fantasy. You know, I wanted different cases and I wanted to collect them. It was very similar with Julius Van Noten. That's what happened. But lesson learned. Just one is fine. I don't need to have multiples. So even though I'm gonna keep the cases for now, I mean, I might think that's a crazy decision later and I don't know, sell them or give them away or something. But anyway, these shades are going, I'm going to keep the cases for now. I have two other cases here. Yes, they actually have. Okay, so I purchased this shade very recently. So this is the shade Light Rosewood, which is a lovely everyday shade. And I bought this to replace, where is it? My Julius Van Noten in Graphic Ochre, which is Dunzos. Like pretty much gone now. Now they're not the same, but they're very similar. I think I did pretty well. This one just has a bit more pink to it, which I actually prefer. Come on. So this is Graphic Ochre and this is go along, and number 3, light rosewood. And I like that this has more pink. It's more flattering on me. So anyway, this is pretty much gone. Like there's basically a few uses left. There's hardly anything there. So that's why I purchased the replacement here. And this one is in the shade, this was a gift. I think it's, I want to say it's shade 14, and I love it because I've been eyeing it. It's basically just called brown, and it's that perfect 90s brown. I love it. Absolutely love it. So these two are my favorite cases, which is why they're in these cases. But I'll be getting rid of these other ones. Okay, so let's say bye to these shades here. All right, making some leeway. Okay, and these are the lipsticks I am keeping. So, like I said, I have the Clarins Lip Oil in Comfort Intense in the shade Deep Camellia. I love this one. This is always living in my purse. The Byredo Lip Vinyl in Unreasonable Doubt, also love. I love the Armani Lip Powers, and the 2 shades I decided to keep. I don't know if I should keep this one. I just said I don't like warm tones. There's something special about this one though. This is in the shade 301. I feel like, this is my logic, I feel like I should have at least one shade like this in case I get a craving for it one day. Like maybe I'm watching a Michelle Wong video and she's rocking an orange lip and I'm like, oh, I want to do that too. And just to have that option, you know, is that crazy? Am I crazy? Has a nice sheen to it too. I actually bought this one because of her. Has a very almost golden sheen to it. It's so bright and fun. Anyway, and then there's this one in 202. Ooh, that's actually very dark, and I don't really like dark lips anymore. You know what? We're gonna say bye to this one. Okay. I will keep this one because I think this one and Rose Mexico, they'll be really fun summer lip options to have if I get the desire. So I think it's okay to keep 2 bright colors as an option. A good summer red lip is this one, Rouge Miami by SISLEY. It's like a very bright orangey red. Okay, let's see if I actually use them this summer. And if not, then we know what to do. Okay, this by Byredo is red and blue. Oh, yes, I love that red. I love how cool toned it is. It's so flattering and stunning. I also have this red by Hermes. Do you see what I mean? Like I really don't need too many reds. Okay. I don't have any more reds here. Ah, the ones by Julius Van Noten. I forgot to include them. All right. So this is Latin Carmine, I believe. Nice cool toned option. I'm trying to keep a variety of different colors. This is Ottoman Brown. I'm going by memory here. So this one's nice to dab on for a very cool toned brown. And this, like before, is okay. Now I understand why I wanted this one. This is quite a different red from the other reds. It's a lot cooler and deeper. Very rich. I believe that is Uniform Red. Okay, so those, and then I have the one that's barely holding on. Graphic Ochre, which I swatched earlier, but that one will be moving on. Okay, the other Hermes lipstick I have is Rouge Grenat. Very lovely shade. Pretty. I know I love this one. I love wearing this one for work. It's a staple for me. So I have 2 Hermes, 1 Byredo, 2 SISLEY, 1 Armani, 3 Julius Van Noten. This is a SISLEY lip gloss, which I am not going to keep. It's too frosty. Yeah, why is that there? Let's put that there. Okay, and I showed you the 2. Let's have it all together. So the lipstick collection is all on my hand. So this, I believe, is in the shade, it's the one that's just brown, like just plain normal brown. I forget the number. I want to say 14, but, and then that is light rosewood. This is the Gucci black lipstick, which I feel like is useful to have even though I never use it. Make it make sense. But I am going to hold on to it because I feel like if I want to deepen a shade, it would be useful. And this is the 𝐂𝐇𝐏𝐿 lipstick in the shade 5 Camellia, which Shayna over at Smelly Skin got for me. Very, very pretty. Very lovely, everyday shade that is not like any of the others. Do I sound crazy when I say that? Okay, so these are the lipsticks I'm keeping. I always preferred a more saturated lip, but my tastes are changing, especially as I haven't purchased makeup lately. I'm realizing that I am missing nudes from here. So here's what I want to get. I want to get a brownie nude and a pinky nude. And I'd also like to get a Dior lip oil as a sort of topper on top of a lip liner or something. Those are on my wish list. So I will be buying those lip products in the future. Despite getting rid of so many just now, like I didn't get rid of any nudes. They're all very much same, like a lot of saturation. And I'm realizing a hole I have is just an actual nude lipstick because they usually make me look quite corpse-ish. So that's gonna be my mission. And I'll let you know when I find them. So these are the lip products I am keeping. Oh, sorry. All of these. So these here are the lip products that will remain. They survived the lip round. Is that it? Have I done everything? Oh my gosh, I think I've done everything. I can't believe it. Okay, that is it. So here is not everything that I'm keeping, but gives you an idea of what stayed. But, oh my goodness, in this bag here, this is, I will show you, but to give you an idea, this bag is heavy. Okay, here we go. This is, can't even fit it all in. Oh my goodness, this is what is going. So a lot of this will be given to friends or my mum or people I know in my life who want it, unless the product is very old or it's an eye product or, you know, it's just unsanitary to pass it on to anyone else. But this just goes to show that we all likely have more than we could ever use or that we need. There is a lot of makeup in here and there is a lot of very lovely makeup in here. I would say I called, ooh. I'm actually curious, like I don't wanna, oh God, I definitely don't wanna add everything up, but it does feel 50-50. Like I'm looking at what's staying and then I'm looking at what's going, and this, it looks 50-50. A lot of this is lip products. It's mostly lip products and eyeshadow, but yeah, isn't it wild? It's just a lot. It's too much. And I really want to make sure that when I do bring in new things, because I will, like I said, I want some nude lipsticks, that I need to be really mindful that it's going to be a long-term commitment because I don't want to have to declutter this many products again. Another big lesson I've learned is don't buy multiples of things, Brittany. Just stop. Like I can see right before my eyes, like multiples of things. Oh, and I will take the cases off these later. I should set these aside. But when I look through here, I do see multiples, you know, and it's just not necessary. I tend to get overexcited and want the same thing in multiple colors, but there's a reason I chose that first color, you know? So there is a lot of value and there is something to be said for having one of something. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot begin to tell you how ridiculously and pathetically excited I was to receive this chunk of plastic in the mail this week, but it did arrive damaged, so I'm not sure if you can see, but here it's a bit chipped, so when I do put things in it, it sags. So they're sending me a replacement, which is arriving tomorrow, but I just couldn't wait. I needed to show you right now. So we're gonna organize my makeup together, have a little chit chat, and let's organize here. So we're gonna go, I think, from bottom to top. So let's start with eyeshadow. So I'm going to put my Byredo Remembrance palette here along with my Quince. So we have Remembrance right here, and check this out. Isn't that so satisfying? And just you wait. So Going to put my more colorful quints towards the back just because I do use them less often, and the ones that I use the most I'm going to put more towards the front. So this is Disco, this one Corporate Colors, Metal Boots in the Snow, so let's put this one here, and Fête Noire, which I love, we're going to put here. Check that out. Couldn't have planned it better myself. All right, so in this one, we're gonna add more eyeshadow. Pretty sure I'll be able to fit the rest of my eyeshadow in here. So again, this one from Pat McGrath, put here. Have my repurposed SURRATT Beyond Beige, and my two Chanel quads, Warm Memories and Tissé Rivoli. So let's put them side by side. And then my singles, I want more towards the front. So I'll have my two SURRATT, my Urban Decay, Space Cowboy, Chantecaille. Let's put these here. Hindash, ooh. You know what, I do think I will repurchase this Hindash in 𝐂𝐃𝐏𝐄𝐏. I'm wearing it today and it's a wonderful base. I do, in the end, prefer it to the one by Violette FR in Petite Culotte. Yeah, this is an excellent product. I'm tempted for it to replace my MAC paint pot in a way, just because this is quite a lot thicker and the Hindash is nice and thin, but anyway, all right. That looks great to me. So in here are my single eyeshadows and my eyeshadow quads. That's great. All right, done. We're getting through this quite quickly. All right, next. We're going to put blush. All right. So I have the NARS Foreplay Quad. Let's put that here because I use that one quite a bit. My SURRATT eyeshadows. So I use this one the most. So I'm going to put that right next to it. And this one I'll use the least, even though I do love it. So let's do it like that. So they're side by side. My three, how do I want to do this? Do I want to do it? No, I don't like that. Let's do it the original way I was thinking. Yeah, because these have enough space between them like that. All right, so let's go Makeup by Mario. I actually use the Sisley one a lot. So I'm going to do a Sisley Makeup by Mario at the back and Chanel here. Yeah, I like that. And two more blushes, my one from Chanel. So let's put that one here. And my one by Decluttered. All right. This is very fun. Look at that. Why did I not do this sooner? Although, pre the declutter I just did, this definitely would not have worked for me. All right, and here we're going to see if my lip products fit. So, put my Dries Van Noten ones in. Beautiful. And then let's put in the ones by Guerlain. Ah, they're so pretty. The two by Hermes, great. Put in the ones from Byredo. Or do I want it that way or the other way? I think this way, so the Byredo is facing up, yeah. Because I'm also thinking, like, what am I going to see when I look at it from the outside? And then here I have my two from Sisley, my Byredo lip vinyl. So I'm going to put that horizontally. This black Gucci lipstick can go at the back. All right, I have my one from Clé de Peau. Let's put that right above these two. I want the writing facing up. There we go. Armani Lip Power and Gucci at the back. Okay, so then I can put my lip liners. I got rid of the one by Chanel, the Nude Brune, because it dried out. So let's put these here. I think I'll put my brow setter here too for now. Okay, and then all my eyeliners. And then all my eyeliners are going to go here. Okay, and that's that drawer. So this is lipsticks, lip liners, and eyeliners. Okay, and now we have the top bunk. So we're going to put in the complexion products here. I forgot to mention that this comes with additional compartments, so you can, if you want, separate parts, but I don't want to do that. I like it more open, but it's nice that it comes with that as an option. Okay, so here is my Chanel Ultra Le Teint. Now, I've been a bit of a busy girl. Remember how I said my perfect shade was 1W cream? Well, I don't really think that's the case. I just can't figure out my face, you know? But I went to the SISLEY counter because I was thinking, yeah, it matches, but it somehow just looks a little light. So I went to the SISLEY counter, and this is shade 3W Almond, and this looks wonderful on my face. I think it looks way better. I think it's just because my face is so light compared to the rest of my body. It's just, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, this is a wonderful shade. Let me show you a swatch of it. Okay, so this is what that looks like. And this suits me much better. So I don't know what I was on about before. This is the shade I'll be purchasing from now on. At least that's the story I'm telling. Remember how I said I was going to repurchase the Chanel Illuminating Fluid in the shade Sunkissed? Well, I didn't. I purchased the Sublimage Concéntrate Lumiere instead. I just wanted to try something different, you know? And a lady at the Chanel boutique actually used this on me a short while ago. Pretty, right? So I think this will be wonderful to mix in with my Ultra Le Teint. In fact, I know it is. I've already tried it, and the packaging is also sublime. Just so chic. Love it. Okay, so we're gonna put that there. All right, Westman Atelier highlight. Let's put that there for now. So I've got the contour stick and highlight from Westman Atelier here. I've also got the other highlighter from Westman Atelier, which we're going to put here. I mean, it would look cooler if they could go together, but as you can see, they just don't wanna, there's a magnet situation going on there. Ooh, but I have these Chanel products. Okay, so I'm going to put, I'm gonna put the rosy beige next to the foundations and the bronzer on the outside. Okay, and then I have my Tom Ford bronzer. That would make more sense actually over here. Okay, and I'm going to put the contour here, the highlight here. Great. And then my concealer, and then finally my SURRATT Dewdrop Concealer, which goes there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is everything. Okay, so here is everything from top to bottom. I have my powder, highlight, base products, bronzer, concealer. That's the top drawer. And in the first drawer, and this is the first drawer, so I put my mascara in there as well. Just found it on my desk. That's everything in there. Now I can bring it closer. So here is where it's damaged, so I have to lift this and put it under, but I should receive my new one tomorrow. All right, in the next drawer, this is all the blush. It fits in there. And here are quads and singles for eyeshadow. And finally, I believe this is the most visually pleasing drawer, the Byredo drawer. So this is all the quints and the large eyeshadow. I'm just really happy that it all fits. I love the presentation of everything. And yeah, just wanted to show you guys how I'm organizing my crap. How cute are these knobs? So cute. Okay, is anyone still there? Are you still with me? If you are still watching at this point, thank you so much for your time and attention. And I really hope that this has been helpful for you. Now, some of you may be quite shocked at what I've let go of because a lot of it is very beautiful, beautiful makeup. Now, like I said, I do have some things on my wish list. So I am looking for more nudie sort of colors, but maybe just 2 or 3, you know, different options. I don't want to go overboard. Develop a new obsession. And what I also like about the new organizer is that it's going to force me to keep my shit together, you know? I just don't know, getting out of control and just going through things and finishing them before moving on to the next thing. And I look at my makeup now and I just get so so excited. So I keep the organizer on my desk and, you know, I'm working away and I'll just look behind, just look at it. Just looking, even, I'm not even using it, just like looking at it like it's a piece of art. Really, it makes me so happy. I feel so much more excited about my makeup collection now. It's a little weird, but I really do not want to have to declutter that many items again. It is a bit embarrassing to show you like, hey, this is how much I don't use, because God, that's a lot of dollar signs and it's a lot of time. You know, it's a lot of time that I spent chasing the right color and the whole hunt, and you know how it goes. And I was just like, why? But you know what? Part of me loves it. I just love, love, love the world of makeup. So this was very fun for me. I hope you had fun watching. In past videos, I've talked about decluttering other things in my life. So like having digital declutters, friendship declutters, and those are still ongoing in my life. I feel like the older I get, the far more selective I am with the kind of people I want to spend my time and energy on. And it's the same digitally as well. So as you know, or as you may know, my goal of the year is to achieve more balance in my life, because that is something that is very much lacking. And I've gotten better, but where I really want to see it is in my sleep. So you may have noticed I'm wearing this ring, and it's the Oura ring. So it's like a sleep tracker. But I've had sleeping issues for most of my life, so I just really want to tackle that this year. How is this related to makeup and decluttering? I'm not sure. Achieving balance. Achieving balance in our lives, whether it's with our makeup collections, with our friendships, with our clothing, with how we spend our time, whatever. And sorry, I keep looking over here because that's where my makeup collection's currently sitting. I was like, oh. And I look at that and I'm like, I want that equivalent in other compartments of my life. So that is the goal for this year. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, especially if you made it all the way till the end. I really, really appreciate you being here, and I really hope you got something out of this. I would love to hear from you. Let me know what you thought of the declutter, how I organized the makeup, what are you doing in terms of your makeup this year. I would love to connect with you. So I really look forward to hearing from you, and I hope you take good care in the meantime.